Hello viewers, a very warm welcome to you. Hope you are watching the videos which we are releasing uh, one by one, which are linked to the various products sold by India Enterprises. So in the current video, we are going to introduce a very economical and useful dual channel rework system. It's a dual channel rework system. In one channel, a soldering iron can be connected, and in the other channel, hot air iron can be used. So model is IRS2C. It is sold by India Enterprises. It is a 1200 watt digital system. So you will get this equipment in the packing you are watching on your screen. So it will be supplied in secure packing. The hot air and the soldering iron can be used simultaneously, and so two operators can use this rework system at a time. So let's start and open this box and see what contents are supplied along with this. Opening this box, and we will take out the main equipment and the other accessories. So you will get an operating manual along with this equipment. It contains useful information with regard to operation and maintenance of this rework system, and then you will see the main unit IRS2C. So as you can see, the hot air iron is already attached to the main unit, so it cannot be detached, and there are two stands available for keeping the hot air iron. One is the side mounted stand, and other one is the standalone type stand. So both these stands have a feature of auto off. So as soon as you just place this iron on the stand, the hot air iron will be automatically switched off, because there is magnetic sensor placed inside this hot air iron, and this metallic stand just detects the placement of hot air iron and then switch it off. So along with this unit, you will also get a soldering iron. It's a 90 watt type soldering iron. So it boasts a electromagnetic type metallic heating element, which is unbreakable as compared to the traditional type ceramic heating element. Support rack is also supplied for keeping the hot iron. So it also contains a cleaning sponge, which is used to clean the extra solder deposited on the soldering tip. So you can just keep this soldering iron on this rugged type stand. These are different type of nozzles with different diameters, like 4.4 mm, 6.4 mm, and 8 mm approximately. So these universal nozzles are used for removing the assembly components, and along with that you will also get a silicone pad, which is used to change the soldering tips even in hot condition, when the iron is in hot condition. And the power cord is already connected to the main unit on the rear side, as you can see. So when we will connect it to the external power source, the unit will be switched on. So moving further, now we will connect the soldering iron to the main unit. So let's see how it is connected. So it is connected to channel 1 with the help of a metal connector, and then we need to just screw it so that it cannot be detached. Then hot air iron is already connected, and in the next step we will show you how we can change the different type of soldering bits, and then we will show you how we can change the hot air nozzles. See, there is a nut and barrel assembly fitted on the soldering iron. So when we unscrew it, uh, there is a small soldering bits which we can just pull it out, and then there are variety of soldering bits available which you can use according to your application. For a miniature application you can use pointed bit, and for heavy mass soldering you can use a larger type bit. So here we will select another tip, and then we will just insert it inside this heater enclosure, and then we will fix the nut and barrel assembly once again to start using this soldering iron. So right now we have just changed the soldering bit with the bare hand. But if in case this iron is hot, you can use the silicone pad, which is heat resistant, for changing the soldering bit. So this is how the silicone pad is used to change the soldering bit even in hot condition. So according to the state of soldering iron, you can use bare hand or silicone pad, and then you can just connect this silicone pad to this cord, so that it is easy to find. Yeah, in this way we can use this silicone pad to change the soldering bit. Now there are three nozzles which are supplied along with this unit. There are other nozzles available which you can buy from us according to the size of IC and the component. So these are push fit type nozzles. So let's see how we can fix this nozzle inside the hot air iron. Picked a nozzle, and see there is a slot provided on the hot air iron, and then we will just align it with the slot and then push it inside to fix the nozzles. Now the hot air nozzle is fixed onto this hot air iron, and this hot air iron is now ready to use. So if we want to remove the nozzles, then there is a slot provided on the stand, on the metallic stand. We can just keep this hot air iron in this way and then pull it to remove the nozzle. So this slot is especially used to remove the nozzle, and with the help of a bare hand you can use this. You can insert the hot air nozzle, or you can also use silicone pad if you want to use. And the hot air iron is in hot state. Yes, in this way we can just remove the nozzle from the hot air iron. So now the attachments have been fixed to the main unit, and unit is now ready to use. So let's connect it to the external power source. It is operated on external power source 230 volt AC, 50 hertz frequency, and there are two on off switch provided on the front panel, one for soldering iron and the other one for hot air iron. So we can see unit is switched on, and we can see that both the channels are in working state. So let us lift the hot air iron and see how we can change the temperature and the hot air flow. See, on the left side of your screen the temperature is displayed, and on the right side of your screen the hot air flow is displayed. So there are a few push buttons indicated on the on the left side. It is temperature. By pressing this upside push button we can increase the temperature, and by pressing this down push button we can decrease the temperature. Minimum temperature range is 100 degree and the maximum is 500 degree centigrade of this hot air iron. And similarly hot air flow we can also change with the help of these push buttons. By pressing this push button we can increase or decrease the hot air flow. The maximum hot air flow is 60 liter per minute. So when we set 120 step, then the maximum hot air flow will be 60 liter per minute, and we can choose the hot air flow of our choice depending upon the application. So when we keep this hot air iron on this metallic holder, the hot air iron will be immediately switched off. Same thing will happen when we keep this hot air iron on the side mounted stand. See, you can see that whenever we keep this hot air iron on this side mounted stand, the hot air iron will be switched off. It's a very useful feature. So when the hot air iron is not in use, then we need to keep it on this side, either on side mounted stand or on this metallic stand, and it will be automatically switched off. Now we will move to the other channel, which is soldering iron. So soldering iron is already connected to the first channel, and there are few push buttons provided on the front panel. So by pressing these push button we can increase the or decrease the set temperature. See, there are dual display. You can see on the right side of your screen set temperature is displayed, and on the left side actual temperature is displayed. So by pressing these push buttons we can increase or decrease the temperature of our choice. So there are other features also available, but that are only applicable for the first channel, not for the second channel, like password protection, sleep time, off time, and maximum and minimum temperature alarm. And other feature is also available, which is password protection. So whenever you enable this feature, this password protection, the operator will not be able to change the temperature, or he or she cannot change the set parameters. So let us start. Let us see how we can make use of these features. So let us switch off the channel first and press up and down key simultaneously and switch on the unit. Now it has entered into the password mode. We need default password is 000. Press the star button to enter the default password. So right now it is in the default password state. Press star once again. So OK will be displayed. Then immediately press up and star button. Now it will enter into the menu mode. See, there are a few modes also available. By pressing these up or down keys, you can select the different modes. For different menu modes, please refer to page number 7 of the operating manual, where you can see that there are different modes, working mode available, like 0, 1, 2, 3 and 0, 1, 2, 3 with the alarm feature. So different type of modes you can select, like 200-degree minimum temperature and 450-degree maximum temperature. And there is other also mode available in which minimum temperature is 50-degree and maximum temperature is 500-degree centigrade. And the other choice is also available with alarming, this buzzer mode. So you can select the working mode of your choice. Right now we have selected mode number 2. You can see on the display mode number 2, and with buzzer. Buzzer is enabled in this mode, and whenever the temperature shoots above the set limit, the buzzer will give you an audible sound. And so accordingly, by pressing this up or down button, we can select the other mode also, like 1 with buzzer, and pressing this up button we can select other working mode. Now we can see we have selected here 3, but it is without buzzer. It means the unit will not give any audible signal whenever the temperature crosses the limit, upper or lower set limit. So after setting the working mode, we will move to the next feature, which is sleep time. Press the star button. Now we can see that sleep time is set at 20 minutes. So the sleep time range is 0 to 250 minutes. So right now we have set a sleep time of 20 minutes. So if the soldering iron is not used and it is kept idle for 20 minutes, then the soldering iron will enter into the sleep mode, and then it will attain the sleep temperature, which we will explain to you in the next step. So we can see we can just choose the sleep time of our choice, ranging between 1 to 250 minutes. So please do not select 000, that which will disable the sleep time feature. So you are advised to select the sleep time between 1 minute to 250 minutes. So next feature is the off time setting. So this off time is also a useful feature. So if the soldering iron is not used for the set limit of off time, then the soldering iron will be switched off, and this off time setting is also 0 minute to 250 minutes. And again I repeat that you are advised to select the off time setting between 1 minute to 250 minutes. So off time should be more than the sleep time, because we have set sleep time of 20 minutes, and off time should be more than the sleep time. And this off time will come into act if the soldering iron is not used for more than the used according to the sleep time, and then if the time limit crosses the set value of time, the soldering iron will be switched off. Next is the sleeping temperature setting. By pressing the star button, we move to the next step. It is the sleep time temperature setting. So sleep time temperature setting is also ranges between 50 degrees centigrade to 250 degrees centigrade, and by pressing the up or down button, we can set the sleep time according to our choice. So, we have set a sleep time of 20 minutes, and here we will set around 100 degree centigrade. So now 100 degree centigrade is the sleep temperature. So after 20 minutes, if the soldering iron is not used, the temperature will drop to 100 degree centigrade. So this will also come into act after the sleep time is lapsed. Press star once again, and you will see that up temperature setting. Up temperature setting, here we have set 50 degree centigrade. The up temperature setting ranges between 0 to 99 degree centigrade. So suppose if we set up temperature of 10 degree centigrade, then if the set temperature crosses the upper limit of 10 degree centigrade, like suppose we have set 300 degree centigrade as the set temperature, and the actual temperature crosses 310 degree centigrade, the unit will give an alarm, and it will alert you that it has crossed the up temperature limit, and accordingly you can just manage it. Similarly, press the star button once again to enter into down temperature setting. Similarly, this down temperature setting ranges between 0 to 99 degree centigrade, as it was case in the case of up temperature setting. Suppose if we set at down temperature at 20 degree, and the set temperature dips below 20 degree centigrade, the unit will give you an alarm, and an audible buzzer will be heard. So you can just then manage it. Suppose if we have set the temperature of 300 degrees centigrade, and the temperature drops to 275 or below 280 degree, then the unit will give you an alarm which will alert you, and accordingly you can just manage the temperature settings. So press the star button once again to exit the menu mode. So now this display has entered into the default state, and it is showing the set and actual temperatures. Another useful feature is the password protection. So it has also this salient feature, password protection. Whenever you enter a new password, and the operator doesn't know the password, he cannot alter the parameters, or he or she cannot change the set temperature. The default password, as I already told you, is a 000. We need to change the default password in to enable the password protection. So let's see how we can do it. Switch the unit off, press the up and down button, and then switch it on. Press star button. Now we can see that the 000 is the default password. If we want to change the password, we need to press the star button once again, and OK will be displayed. Immediately press the down and star button. Now we can see that it has entered into the password setting mode. You can now just select the uh, password of your choice by pressing the star button, and then using the up or down button you can select here we will select 007 as the new password. Press star button once again, and we have to repeat the process. Press star button once again, and using the up key, press star and then press star button once again. Now this new password has been set, which is 007, and after unit is switched off, and we cannot alter the temperature. Need to switch the unit off, then switch it on. Now we will see that even after pressing the up or down button, we cannot change the temperature, we cannot alter the temperature, because the new password has been set and the password protection is now enabled. So this is how we can just protect this equipment from the operator for unwanted changes. So it's a very useful feature which you can use if you want. So, we have explained its various features like up temperature, down temperature, sleep time, off time, and password protection, etc., which you will be able to use if you watch this video till the very end. In the next step, we will show you how we can calibrate the soldering iron of this dual channel rework system. In order to meet the ISO requirements, this dual channel rework system is also equipped with the feature of calibration. See, calibration is the process of comparing the set value and the value under measurement. So we will use this feature to calibrate this equipment. So set temperature is right now 300 degrees centigrade, and the real temperature it is showing on the display, which is also 300 degrees centigrade. We will verify whether it is giving the accurate value or not with the help of an external calibrator. We are using INDAE I191AD calibrator. We will check the tip temperature with the help of a thermocouple which is inserted on the calibrator. So let's see how we can do the calibration. Let's pick the iron, apply fresh solder on the soldering bit, and then check the tip temperature by just keeping it on the thermocouple junction. You can see that the real set temperature is 300 degrees centigrade, real temperature is on the display is 300 degree, but the actual temperature on the calibrator is 318 approximately. So it means it is exceeding the set temperature. So we need to give some offset value to match the real temperature and the actual temperature which was observed on the calibrator. See how we can do it. Let's press the star button, and then not releasing it, press the up and down button. You will see it will enter into the cal mode. So cal temperature is displayed now on the uh, left side of your screen, and here we have to input the value which we have measured on the calibrator, like 318 degree. We will enter it and press the star button to enter this value. Now the offset has been set, and the software is now accepting the offset value, and now it has calibrated it, this soldering iron. We will again verify whether the offset value which we have given is accepted by the software or not. You can see earlier the calibrator was showing temperature of 317 to 18 degree. Now the actual temperature on the calibrator is close to 300 degree, which is within the permitted limit. Now the set temperature 300 degree, real temperature on the display is 300 degree, and the actual temperature on the calibrator is 299, close to 300 degree. It means now the soldering iron has been calibrated, and the real temperature, set temperature, and the actual temperature on the calibrator are same. So this is how we can calibrate this soldering iron. See, hot air iron cannot be calibrated, only soldering iron can be calibrated with the help of this calibrator. So starting from the very beginning, we have give you an overview of this product, like unboxing it, then we have explained its features, how we can make interconnections, then we have explained some unique features also like password protection, off temperature, set temperature, sleep time, and other features also we have explained one by one. Then we have shown you how we can change the temperature and the hot air flow of hot air iron and the temperature of soldering iron as well. Then we have just explained how we can change the password and how we can protect this equipment from the unwanted changes being done by the operator. And then we have also just illustrated the procedure of calibration. So if you watch this video from the beginning to the very end, you have a great idea about this product. And believe my word, this dual channel rework system is an essential for a service center or a startup or other R&D units. So you must buy it if you are working on the SMD and the PTH components. We welcome your inquiries for this product, and immediately we will respond to your queries. And if you have any further clarification, you are welcome to contact us. And thanks for watching this video. Hope you have liked it. Have a great day.